You can build whatever world you want. You change your frequency, you will change your world. Reality will always build for you the world that is commiserate with how you see yourself.
Wow. I'm not the physical body, I'm the immortal within. Facts. So when my DNA skin suit dies, you can stick my corpse in a bin. Do it. You can just cremate me, I don't care if you're scorching my skin. Cause I'm infinite consciousness in a cosmic ocean, I snorkel and swim. Wow. Life is a game, I'm certain, I have no doubts, of course I will win. Yeah. Ask about me, checkmate. I don't watch porn, I'm a king. Checkmate. And I don't drink from the tap, you know that water's grim. Fluoride's a neurotoxin, your pineal glands absorbing it in. Yes. And if you think chemtrails are engine fumes, you're awfully dim. I'm not a yes man, I'm authentic, I don't force anything. I don't believe in fate or luck, it's not an unfortunate thing. Never. I'm not stressing, life is a blessing, no one is born into sin. No. The devil's been tempting me, but I'm not talking to him. I'll stick my sword in his limb and swing my fist full force in his chin. Been battling demons for ages now, I'm going to war with the jinn. So if they happen to kill me, I'll be going out with a glorious grin. The demons are knocking, they've been scheming and plotting. Those toxic chemicals up in the sky will leave you sneezing and coughing. The reason is shocking, I bet you'd be breathing a lot in. That poison inside the vaccine will leave your blood cells bleeding and clotting. I don't do religious scriptures, that's why I don't read the Kabbalion. This world is being controlled by a twisted, devilish, evil battalion. I'm a champion, I don't need a medallion, I just need to be valiant. I'm bareback in reality, so I don't need no weed or Valium. I'm completely sober, I don't do shrooms and I don't swallow beer. I'm not your average human being, I'm positive, I don't follow fear. I love the world we live in, but all I'm seeing is pain and sorrow here. Welcome to the pits of hell, it's a digital quantum hollow sphere. I don't trust nobody, people's hearts are so cold and shallow. But I'm on a path to greatness, I don't care if the roads are narrow. I'm always ready for battle, I've been stockpiling loads of ammo. The thoughts I'm thinking are twisted, gruesome, horrible, gruesome paro. I've been stuck in a spiral dimension, a war with these floating shadows. I've been fighting devils and demons, using these poisonous bows and arrows. If I die and I leave this place, I'll fly in the sky with the crows and sparrows. I don't mind if you bury my body right next to my potatoes and marrows. The demons are knocking, they've been scheming and plotting. Those toxic chemicals up in the sky will leave you sneezing and coughing. The reason is shocking, I bet you'd be breathing a lot in. That poison inside the vaccine will leave your blood cells bleeding and clotting. The demons are knocking, they've been scheming and plotting. These toxic chemicals up in the sky will leave you sneezing and coughing. The reason is shocking, I bet you'd be breathing a lot in. That poison inside the vaccine will leave your blood cells bleeding and clotting. The demons are knocking, they've been scheming and plotting. These toxic chemicals up in the sky will leave you sneezing and coughing. The reason is shocking, I bet you'd be breathing a lot in. That poison inside the vaccine will leave your blood cells bleeding and clotting.
The self-aware immortal is a non-local awareness, limitless, timeless, with the creative tools of imagination and intuition. Intuition and imagination used together can create anything. You can build whatever world you want. You change your frequency, you will change your world. Reality will always build for you the world that is commiserate with how you see yourself.
Absolutely. That was Mr. Traumatik. You guys know we've kind of went back and forth for about 3 years with him. He sent us. He's done some pretty good music. The Phoenix is Real. That's the first time he sent me a song, and just gave me carte blanche with it. I put my own pictures with it. I just got online and found a bunch of real good pictures. I didn't realize he was that big. I didn't know that he had done all those concerts. I did not know he had that many albums. I went and found all those pictures today. Hope he liked it. So, the Purge is real. Let me share my screen real quick. Let me get rid of that. No, we're going to keep that there because I'm going to play that again at the end of the song. I mean, at the end of the video. I'm going to share my screen, get right off into this. I've been posting in Archaix Underworld, and I've been posting on X today. I've been getting it off my mind. All right, so I am sharing. Okay, so a year ago, actually June, it's already August, so a year and 2 months. It's been a year and 2 months. Oh man, it bit the dust. The briefcase fell. So it's been a year and 2 months since I released this video. This video concerns the predictive programming in the Purge series. And I show the dates. There's charts in there to look how the predictive programming unfolds. And man, listen, many of the things in this video hit the nail on the head to the point where I'm willing to put the link in the description box. So the 96th day breaking of the second seal, this video shows the predictive programming of the Purge franchise videos and what they mean for the Western world and predominantly in the United States. So many of the things that are predicted in this video unfolding like you wouldn't believe right now. So the link is in the description box right now if you want to go check out this video tomorrow or later on this evening. But the Purge is real. Let me show you what I mean. Oh, here's the video right here. This is the video, the 96th day breaking of the second seal. Many of you have watched it. It's one of my older videos, so it's got 73,000 views and 757 comments. That's a lot. That's a lot for a video. This video triggered a lot of people. And the world was kind of a different place 14 months ago when this video took off. But ever since the Charlie Kirk incident, we've seen basically what's in this video unfolding or building to a crescendo to where that scenario will unfold. And that's no exaggeration because even Trump has made the news literally saying, this is in the New York Times, this is in the Statesman, the Fort Worth Star Telegram, all the major newspapers. Trump literally said that if we're going to stop crime in America, we just need one really violent day. And then he built the scenario in a dialogue. He built the scenario, says, shoot, really, we just we need to go ahead and stand down. The police just need to stand down and let all these guys go out and do all those robberies and all that. And let's just see what happens. They'll probably never rob anybody again after that day. Listen, this isn't make-believe. Trump said this. Yeah, it's all over newspaper. You can go look yourself. The Purge trends as Trump suggests one really violent day could end thefts. This is Forbes magazine. Donald Trump's call for really violent day compared to the Purge. What? How many of y'all heard of this? I just found out. Just found out. All over YouTube right now. I'm gonna let you know. I've been going through these videos. None of them are near as informative as my video from 14 months ago. You can look for yourself. All these videos are basically just telling you what I'm telling you right now. That Trump said this stuff out loud. And you know all this stuff is choreographed. You know damn well nothing gets put out there in the media unless they want it to be put out there. There are no accidents in journalism anymore. Yeah, man. Trump wants the purge. Here it is. And what makes it so crazy, guys, is there is a purge going on. Right now, I know some of you live a sheltered life and you're not on social media looking at all these things, but anybody who's on Twitter knows they've got Twitter counters going with all the people, tens of thousands of people who've lost their jobs nationwide because of social media posts denigrating Charlie Kirk's family or him or saying anything negative about him being killed. College professors, deans of college, teachers. We had teachers right down the road from me. Teachers right here, right down the road from me. Our governor in Texas put his foot down, said he's not tolerating that, and he's already called for the removal of several people in Texas from their positions because of their social media. It's crazy, and there's no other word for that but purge. It's just the beginning. This is just the beginning, guys. So crazy how all this has been going on. So if you want to see this video, the 96-day breaking of the second seal, the link is in the description box. It will also be in the pinned comment. I probably would have got a whole lot more traction on this video if I would have titled it The Purge instead of the 96th day. I should go into the video and put The Purge as a hashtag. Anyway, this is what's been going on. This is what's going on nationwide right now. Other countries are talking about it. You can get on Google and you can see this right here. I'm not making it up. The purge. The word purge is trending more than any other word right now. And it's all over. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, the inspectors generals, the Defense Department, all these other government agencies. Here's a full list where in the news headlines, the word purge has been used over and over and over for all different kinds of things. This shit is trending. Here where they're talking about the disciplinary actions after Charlie Kirk's assassination. Hear it all right here. Again, the word purge, 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 purge. Right here, mass violence and atrocities. Here's the word purge used in political and metaphorical sense in reports of mass violence and human rights abuses all over the world. Haiti, Southeast Asia, all kinds of stuff. You can look these up yourself, but this is what's trending. This is what's going on. This is what's in the collective conscious right now. So crazy. All right, let me get out of here. How unusual. We got over almost 1,300. I was not expecting this many people late at night. This is a late night video. Wow. So crazy. So I'm still sharing my screen. So let's just go on. So sometime tonight or in the morning, we'll hit 2,500 in Archaix Underground. It is amazing. I don't even need X. I don't need Facebook, X, Instagram. I don't need any of that no more. Everything. All these truthers, all these awakened individuals, all these errants, people from other communities are all coming into Archaix Underground, and they're bringing their best stuff, their best memes, best articles, best book PDFs. Man, it is an awesome. I'm so impressed. It is such an awesome atmosphere. There is never not something to do. The errants chat is explosive. I'm learning a lot just spying on people's chat. Man, I'm learning a lot, man. Like, wow. And anybody can look over the chat. I'm looking at Aaron's personals and see what people are talking about. It's like, man, dude, this is an explosive community. I'm so proud of my community for being welcoming. Because there's a lot of other people who are not really technically Aaron's. They're not followers of Archaix, but they were curious and they've come into Archaix Underground. And they found this thriving community. It's alt media. And people are alive and awake in here. And we don't have to deal with any of that social media toxicity. None of the trolls, none of that stuff's in there. I love it, man. I love it. That's my only announcement. Archaix Underground is thriving. The link for that's in the description box as well. Let's see. My email, archaix138@gmail.com. My email is archaix138@gmail.com if you're trying to send me something. If you're trying to mail me something, I'm not going to do it tonight. I have a whole stack of stuff I want to say thank yous publicly. This isn't the video for that. I'm going to do a daytime video, and I'm going to thank people for it. Because I just went to the post office for the first time in 2.5 weeks, and I got all these packages, and I'm going through them, and I'm kind of humbled by the gifts people have given me, and I want to show them. So I'm not going to do that in this video. This video is a little bit more serious. It's just crazy. So the Purge, anarchy. So if you've been on social media and you've been watching what's been going on, the military is already in several cities. Yeah, you got flash mobs going in, kick door, and I mean, man, things are so chaotic right now. You got gangs kick door to door, robbing people. You got all kinds of stuff happening. Police are no longer able to contain it in some areas. You got Antifa going off now, being labeled by President Trump. I think he labeled them as a terrorist group, domestic terrorist group, or it's on the table right now. You've got American congressmen, congresswomen being exposed for altering their documents and coming here illegally. Like some lady from Somalia, apparently her documents, she married her own brother just to get over here, and then divorced her brother once she was cleared to be an American citizen, and she's in our Congress. How did that happen? So I think Trump just called for her removal as well. Man, it's a purge, guys. It's a purge. And like I said, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, not only in 20, 30 videos on my own channel, but in about 40 or 50 videos where I was a guest on other people's podcasts. They all remember. They had me as a guest. They remember when I said all these things. When the Democrats were at the height of power on January 7th, the day after January 6th, social media exploded with, oh no, this is the new normal. Oh no, the Republicans and conservatives will never come back after this. The Democrats and socialists have stolen the election. Remember that? Yeah, then the Patriot pacification agents flooded YouTube, and you know their names. We did videos in Archaix exposing them as well. Wano saving on down, all of them. They were all a part of an agenda. So I got my finger on the pulse the whole time, and I'm telling you guys, this is all about the controlled collapse of the Democratic Party. And I've got thousands of people talking shit to me 5 years ago, talking about, man, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. The Democrats, the socialists, they won. It's over. And I says, you have no idea what you're talking about. As a chronologist, I am so tapped into the field. I already know that January 6th was the farthest the pendulum swung all the way to the left. And I've been telling my community since that day, the pendulum is already on the way back and it's building momentum. Every year that passes, I said, guys, the pendulum is moving. It's mad. And then with the Charlie Kirk deal, that pendulum swung wide to the right. And it's not done, guys. Mark my words. I haven't told you wrong yet. That pendulum's going to swing far right. You haven't seen it yet. You haven't seen it yet. Yes, they're taking out the socialists. They're taking out the Democrats. The Christian Reich is a real thing. I know a lot of Christians get pissed off at me when they hear me say it. I don't care. I was a Christian for 40 years. I get it. Most Christians are cultural Christians. They're not spiritual Christians. They don't know anything about the true teachings of Jesus. And if you're curious, right here on Archaix, we have videos that show the difference. That Christianity is just like any other of the ancient religions. But then we have one video here where we break down exactly what Jesus was teaching. It's a very spiritual video. But this Christian Reich is a political movement. And it's only using Christians as onward Christian soldiers marching as to war. Yeah, you guys don't know that song. I was raised in the church. I was in the choir. I'm telling you now, they're marching those Christian soldiers onward. That's what it's all about. The Christian Reich is about politicizing a religion in order to create a military empire. I told you guys, and I told you 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, and 2 years ago that you don't know what you're talking about. Quit doomsaying. This pendulum's going to swing to the right, and there is going to be an ancillary development coming out of all this, coming out of the purges, coming out of the pendulum going from left to far right. There is something coming out of this, and it's going to be a boosted economy. And I said this over and over and over. I've even told you that the Judeo-Christian interpretation of Apollonimus, the third horseman, the black horseman carrying the scales, isn't what you think. It's about bringing balance. Not too far to the left, not too far to the right. The third horseman comes in and brings balance, but the second horseman's going all the way to the right. The third horseman isn't what you think. I told you in the Greek interpretation of the third horseman, we have a financial boom. I'm talking about a Sodom and Gomorrah hedonistic society that comes out of this conflict between left and right. It's all in there it's all in there in the programmings of you need to go back and watch my first Seals videos and then my second Seals videos. I got 2 or 3 of them. The main one though, the breaking of the second seal. This is the one I just mentioned is my third Seals videos, which is the 96th day, where I feature the Purge, the anarchy. But it's all coming to pass exactly as I said, not because I'm a prophet, not because I'm a wizard, not because I have any psychic abilities. I have an 8th grade education. Only because in studying ancient calendrical systems and how events in history unfold, I was able to find those key nodal dates that are integral when analyzing future past phenomena, watching the ripples of events go forward and backward in time from epicentral years. I've taught you guys this. There's nothing that I know that I haven't already said on YouTube. It's all here. So it's all unfolding. Sometimes when things unfold a little bit differently, but we haven't got to the worst of the right. The right is in full swing. That pendulum's got some distance to go before the third seal. I can show you the chart. I don't remember where I got it. I might have it here. Here it is right here. Wow, I had it on my desktop. I wasn't even planning on showing this chart today. Look, the third seal does not begin to 2028. It's only 2025, guys. The third seal, which is the bringing about of balances. And then the black horseman is the spiritual dearth. It is a spiritual dearth. It is spiritual famine. Spiritual famine is what is created when the avatar is gluttonous, has too much money, has too many opportunities, has nothing to strive for. Spiritual famine is what's caused in a hedonistic society. Things are normal when a person is in a relationship with someone else. Things are normal. But in the society that's going to come up out of this, it's going to be sexual promiscuity, but it's going to be masked as something else. People are going to be able to suspend their disbelief in order to participate, as if it becomes a patriotic duty. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, just imagine a large amount of the population suddenly unable to live. For whatever reason, something happens and a large amount of the population go. So it becomes a patriotic duty to start having sex, to start producing kids. And the economy is booming. At the same time, all this unfolds. But it is a spiritual famine because of what it causes. When the avatar lives in excess, the spirit suffers. When the avatar strives to survive, the spirit soars. So, anyway, didn't mean to get that deep late at night. The late night videos are really the ones where we have fun, cut up, and kick it. But the Purge stuff just came on the deal. I just wanted to show you the 2028 third seal horseman right here. Yeah. The bringing of balance from the chaos of the first and second seal isn't going to start. Remember, the balances aren't the Judeo-Christian version. It has nothing to do with the Judeo. Just like the first seal, the white horseman, and the second seal, the red horseman with the great sword. What even a great sword is machiera. It's Greek for a knife, an assassin's weapon. The second seal is all about small arms violence, not military stuff, not armies fighting. Everything's unfolded according to the Greek. So the third seal is too. And when it comes to the balances, they were always the symbol of Nemesis. Nemesis was the goddess that brought balance and vengeance for wrongs. That was the role of Nemesis. That's why the third horseman is Apollo Nemesius. So anyway, I'm glad I had that on my desktop. Didn't even intend to do it. So remember, the second seal is about taking peace from the earth. That's what it literally says. That the second horseman, in the Greek, it's fiery. It's not red. It's a fiery color. Like could be a yellow, orange, and red with red mixed in it. What's really interesting, the Judeo-Christian model says it's a red horseman with a great sword, but the Greek shows that it's a fiery horse. It's very different. It's a fiery horse with an assassin's weapon. So, and his role is to take peace from the earth. Did that just not happen? In the movie The Purge, they specifically show this scene right here in The Purge. Look at all this fire. Look at this fire. This fire destroyed, as you see right here, the city of Salem. What does Salem mean? Peace. There's a lot of little drops. There's a lot of little drops that I showed in that earlier movie. Taking Salem from the earth, taking peace from the earth. Here's the Purge right here. Just looking at these original stills. Look, you can't make this stuff up. The Purge movie election year came out in 2016. The movie came out before Trump was elected president. He was campaigning when this movie came out. When Trump was campaigning, the theme came up of MAGA, Make America Great Again. But people weren't calling it MAGA back then. It was just a slogan, let's make America great again. It didn't become MAGA, M-A-G-A, till later on. But this movie came out while he was campaigning, Trump. And one of the themes in the movie's right here. The film's very tagline, Keep America Great. You got to pay attention to that predictive programming. Here's the new founders order right here. Real similar to the Great Seal of the United States. Now, what's the main difference here? What is the main difference between the seal of the new founders of America in the Purge movies? Because the Purge represented a rebirth of the United States. That's what it said in the movie. It was a rebirth. The nation was reborn. Once a year, they enacted the Purge. It was only for 12 hours. It was at nighttime, and all law enforcement and EMS had to stand down. And everybody had to lock themselves in their homes. And people were killing their neighbors. People were going out there and robbing different businesses. People were hunting people down, and a lot of other things were happening. But what is the difference between these two seals? Well, interestingly, the symbol of the second seal is the maquera, is the small knife. These are two knives crossed right here. Two knives crossed right here. Replacing what? What? What's it replacing? Look at that. Most of you don't even know what that really is. I know what some of you are going to tell me. You're going to tell me it's 13 stars. That's what you're going to tell me. Yeah. But if you got a pin and you connected these stars, these four up here on the top, and these four going down to the bottom, and these four going back up here, and then you start at the top and you connect these four going to the right base, and then cross the foundation of the deal and go all the way back up. I just drew two interlocking triangles, a perfect Jewish star. What's going on with the Purge? Reminder, all emergency services will be suspended for a 12-hour period during the Purge. This is all the stuff that Trump brought to the American conscience by saying what he said. You remember, there's a scene where a sniper on a bridge has a microphone. She got a big old sniper rifle. She got a microphone, and she just giving a speech, showing that the Purge had this underlying strong religious, really weird twist. She's screaming on the microphone, "I'm doing God's work." What did I tell you years ago about the Christian Reich? These are going to be your neighbors. These are going to be people you were raised with. These are going to be people who don't even bat an eye when you and your family are marched up a deck inside of an NFL Superdome, when you're waiting, when you're in line and a whole bunch of people are puking and all that shit because they know they got to walk up on this deck, and this whole Coliseum is just watching all the heads roll from this guillotine. And the family that turns you in for whatever they turned you in for won't even bat an eye as you and your family are being beheaded in front of 50, 60,000 screaming fucking fans. Won't even bat an eye. Why? Because that's the toxicity of religiosity. When a soul thinks it is allied to God, they can be made to do anything. Yeah. Imagine how many hundreds of thousands of European females, their last moments on earth were burning at the stake as the people that they were raised with were watching, and no one saved them. No one came, no one said, no, man, they got accused of something. So, okay. So they trust the church. Or without any evidence whatsoever that they did any wrong, the accusation itself just triggered their puritanical psychoses, because that's what it is. Absolutely. Yeah, there is no difference between a Christian and a fanatical Muslim. There's no difference. They equally believe that they are allied to God. Therefore, both sides can equally just slaughter each other and not even think anything bad about it at all. Yeah, ideological warfare. It's one of the oldest types of warfare known to man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm doing God's work. He uses an earthquake, a virus. The masses nourish and flourish. I am that virus tonight. I am a one-woman effing plague, and you're all in my path. So strange that she said this, because viruses have nothing to do. Plague has nothing to do with the entire Purge franchise movies. Nothing. But remember, it's predictive programming. I am the Holy Trinity. All I hear is Christian Reich. I am the Holy Trinity. I am the Father, Effer, Son of a beep, and Holy beep, and my MP9 silver-tipped auto magnum. She's just going off. I am the Holy Trinity. Yeah, man, that's right there. That's a religious psychosis. The right arm of the free world and the left hand of God. In flaming fire, I take the heads of them that know not God. Here's some trashy female on a bridge holding a sniper rifle with a microphone, just screaming out at the world all these things like she's just important. And all it would take is a 22 long rifle. Boop, gone. All that talk wouldn't have been nothing. It's just so strange. The dialogue is so strange. It's so Puritan. That's the movie. Look at the rioters. This is what you see on the streets of America today. This is what you're seeing right now. You're seeing it all over the UK. Right now. Here it is. Don't think what the UK and what Ireland are going through right now with all that. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to make that the focus, but you know what I'm talking about if you're following the news. Yeah, their own leaders have allowed this situation to occur because they've all sold out. Yeah, Ireland isn't Irish anymore. Yeah, and England isn't English anymore. All their rulers are someone else now, and they're all sold out to someone else. So what's going on over there is the exact same thing the Purge scenario shows. Is it doom for Ireland? Is it doom for England? No, no. This is all a script. It's going to play out. Do I think Islam's going to be victorious? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They were never meant to be. They never were before. They got run out of Europe every time. Yeah, they were here for a while. There's no doubt, but it's a different world now. Here it is. The Purge election year. Red, white, and blue. And these are just stills from the Purge franchise. This is the one in Texas. There was a Purge movie over on Texas about Texas. So let me get out of that file right there. Man, I'm so glad you guys came to I was not expecting 2,000 people to be in the chat late at night. I do the late night videos just to kick it with my community on some other things. Maybe it's the Purge. Maybe it's the Purge. Maybe it's the time. I was not expecting 2,000 people tonight. So good that I just ate and I'm powered up on this coffee. So let me show you the let's just run this little Purge video then. I got a Purge video. Let's do that. Yeah, man. It's just so bizarre. It's so bizarre. There's so many things in the way. So these are scenes from the Purge movies. During a Purge night, all crime is legal, and there are robberies, vandalism, hacking, all kinds of things. And during the Purge, the government and corporations, they put bounties on people so others can get paid for purging them. Think about that. The Purge is something the government sponsors. And while chaos is going on everywhere in all different pockets, there are three things that the government's doing. One of them is it's hiring private contractors to go out and liquidate those that the government wants to remove from the population. It's done under the Purge. So no, there's anybody who dies during the Purge, there's no police investigation. If you are liquidated during the Purge, there's no one comes to rescue. No one's going to investigate your death. So once a year, the government allows for the Purge to go on. But at that time, there are literal government bounties put out. Prices are put on people's heads. And government agents and freelance bounty hunters get to go out and try to kill these people to get that bounty. That's one thing that's going on during. The other thing the government is doing while these purges are on are these murder vans. These murder vans are strange because the vans are traveling through all these dark cities, but they've got guys that are heavily armed in them. And they're kidnapping people straight off the streets during the Purge. It doesn't matter if the people are trying to escape from being killed because their house just got kicked in or whatever, and they run outside or whatever. These government sponsored like kidnap murder vans scoop them up. These people disappear forever. They just get taken in. Some of the vans are murder vans. So they're just sent out. And if people are out there trying to get away or whatever, they just open fire. And all the military dudes get right back in the van. They go somewhere else. It's two different types of vans, murder vans and these abduction vans. This is a government program operating during the night of the Purge. And the third thing that's going on during the Purge is the weirdest one. The government is sponsoring murder tours where foreign dignitaries and foreign rich people can sign up and they're given escorts and they go out into the cities of the Purge and they get to watch live as people are getting butchered. People's houses are getting kicked in. They can hear the screams. These are their murder tours. These are the three things that are going on in the Purge movies. All right. So, yeah, the elite have hired these Purge squad assassins because the scenario, it's not just the government, like actors and actresses with a bunch of money. And they've got some social media guy like Jason of Archaix sitting there clowning them all the time. You know, we can just say Billy Carson. We can say Billy Carson. Let's just make up something that could be true, such as Billy Carson defrauds a bunch of people out of hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's sick and tired of Jason of Archaix exposing his ass on everything he does. So during a purge, he goes ahead and he puts about a $2 million price on my head, and send some people during the purge. They come and they try to take me out. They run into a whole wall of assault rifle toting rednecks that all live in my community right here. But that's another story. Let's say he tried it. Just like an actor who has this reporter who's always on their ass. That actor puts enough money out there, somebody might try to take that contract because they got lists posted. All the cities of the purge have a list posted, and they got prices on these names. Have prices, and people are out there. A lot of people who participate in the purge are doing it for financial reasons because the government pays for participation in the purges. If you're willing to go out there, you could get killed too. People purge each other. So in order for there not to be any hard feelings and all that stuff, people all wear costumes and masks on the purge because you may know everybody on this street, but you can't stand one of these guys here, or his wife is a hottie and you got to get him out the way. So you can come in here and do whatever. I'm just saying the purge opens up all kinds of opportunities. So you want to be all masked up because you don't want anybody on the street to actually know you were the one that went in there and killed that dude. And then 3 days later went over there and comforted her. Everybody wears masks for anonymity. Oh my God. Is it too late? To remain anonymous. So this is what's going on with the purge. A lot of people participate because it's a financial boom. Most of the participants, though, have a bone to pick. But you're running a risk. Yeah. Some people go out there to kill somebody who they got in a fist fight with, beat their ass. It don't matter. Other people maybe got a car accident. They got the shit into the stick, and they feel like you owe them a bunch of money and you ain't never paid it. They go to purge you, but to even go out of your house, you're open game. So if you step out your house, even as a participant of the purge, that's why in the purge movie everybody's in groups. There's safety in numbers, even in the purge. So now, I'm not saying that President Trump or the U.S. government will ever legalize the purge. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that the Charlie Kirk incident has woke America up to the fact how fast things can change, how fast they can change in the blink of an eye. Now, imagine a scenario when all internet and power goes out for 3 or 4 days. Imagine a scenario when the government even gives you a heads up and say, hey, everybody try to get home. Well, we're going to power down for whatever reason. We need to do this. Or maybe they can make up anything. Hey, guys, there's a virus that's going to take over the whole internet. If we don't shut the whole internet down and shut all the servers down for about 3 days so we can deal with this. And then when they shut the servers, the internet, the power, the plumbing, the electricity, it may all stay up, but they could shut the entire internet down under false pretenses. They could. And without the internet, there's no EMS. Without the internet, there's no police coming to save you. Because all law enforcement by this time in 2025 have already upgraded all their systems to be integrated with all these servers. Yeah, there's no more independent law enforcement. They've all slaved themselves to the system, the internet. If the internet goes down, everything goes down. So, yeah, guys, this could happen super fast. It could happen super fast. And it's not even government sanctioned, but it could happen with pre-planning. So the 3 or 4 days where there's just no communication with anybody anywhere, and the government's told law enforcement, hey, this is one of those times you just need to stay home. There's really no way you guys can communicate, do anything. Stay home with your families and all that until we bring everything back online. What do you think is going to happen during those 2 or 3 days? For the first day, relatively nothing. But when everybody starts realizing in the inner cities that there's not going to be any repercussions, it won't take 12 hours for the inner city populations to completely ransack the entire city. Yeah, there's not enough stores for the people. That's why we always have 18-wheelers always delivering more and more and more stuff. Why? Because every single day, the local populations empty the shelves. You can't see it. You don't know it because the shelves are always being replenished. Why? Because all these minimum wage workers work in all these stock rooms and all these stores and unload all these trucks. And it is a system that is perpetual. But if the internet goes down, the entire system stops. Everything stops. All these scenarios are in my first, second, and third seal videos and my Purge video. Also, I have a Purim video. My Purim video goes into a lot of these details too about what to expect. I also have a video called 2025 Lockdown. The video also talks about all these, and I'm actually showing a movie that's showing us a lockdown in 2025. It's really compelling movie. Everything that happens has a lot of Christian rights stuff in there, but I go scene by scene in the movie. It's a movie breakdown. But the scenario in the movie is that the United States gets locked down in 2025 and everything that happens. So I've got 5 or 6 videos that will give you a lot of detail about everything I'm talking about right now. I'm just paraphrasing. So the elite and the government, they hire these purge squads of assassins that go out and operate in the community from ordinary contractor vans with plumber, painter, or tech advertising on. That's another thing that was interesting in the Purge franchise. In the Purge franchise, wow, I turned on the wrong lamp, and I think a ghost turned it off. Back on. What is going on? Okay, so in the Purge franchise movies, it is so crazy because the murder vans aren't government vans. They're disguised as contractor vans. So you see a van parked with all its lights out, you don't even think about anything because it says Roscoe's Painting, and it says it's terrible. But when you're going down the street, all of a sudden the side opens up and a 81 millimeter Vulcan cannon just rips across the street. It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, you got to watch out for all the contractor vans because they're probably not contractor vans. So the elite, before the Purge, every year the elite offer low-income people financial incentives to volunteer. It's like George Soros paying Antifa, George Soros paying BLM to do riots and all kinds of stuff. Same thing. It's the same thing. In the Purge movies, the main color of those who are immune from the Purge is blue. There are some houses that put blue up, and if they put blue up on their house, everybody knows you better not go over there and mess with that house. They have Purge immunity, and the consequences are nothing anybody wants to deal with. So leave them alone. Just leave them alone. There are Purge immunity facilities and houses, and the color that shows that these people are protected against Purge is always the color blue. That's crazy, isn't it? Let's see. All right. Nanny Boo Boo, get on their ass. I see you getting on somebody's butt. They don't like the dialogue. They can go. Boot them. You know we got zero tolerance here in Archaix. Let's see. All right. Wasn't it interesting about the color blue? I mean, Didn't we recently discover, like with Oprah Winfrey, that the color blue protected her mansion out of all the houses there that got burned, all the schools and all the buildings and all the residential neighborhoods? The one house around that did not burn was Oprah Winfrey's, and her roof was blue. Go figure that one out. Figure that one out. So crazy. So crazy. So here's another sinister aspect about the Purge. In the Purge franchise movies, you find out that the insurance companies are in on it. They're in on the Purge. You can even get Purge insurance. But your regular life insurance doesn't mean anything. You got to get Purge insurance. Isn't that something? It's just so crazy. It is so crazy. So one of the themes of the Purge, though, is that the elite use the Purge also to take out select victims that have been hurt on their jobs because they're taking out like workers' comp, or they got pending lawsuits. Yeah, these insurance companies and these Fortune 500 companies, a part of their hit contracts for the Purge every year are those who got hurt on the job because they don't want to have to pay out all that money. Isn't that something? So crazy. Also, the Purge, and I know a lot of you guys don't want to hear this, but in the Purge franchise, one of the things that the Purge did was eliminate a whole bunch of elderly people. And the insurance companies love that. They love that. And so did the government, because the Purge kept Social Security down, Social Security payments down. Yeah, the Purge every year was a class war. It wasn't a racial war. As a matter of fact, there's almost no racism at all in the Purge franchise. It wasn't racial at all. It was ideological, and it was a class war. So another thing about the Purge franchise, which I find it interesting that for Trump to have dropped this, the Purge is also specifically designed to boost the economy. And this is something, I never linked it to the Purge. But in the calendrics, I've been telling you for 5 years, guys, I says things look kind of dark right now, but we have a financial boom coming in the very near future. I've been saying it. I've been saying it about 12 years before. About 12 years before 2040, it's going to be a fantastic economy. So what's really interesting, too, about the Purge being associated to the second seal, the Red Horseman, is that the first horseman was Apollo, and Apollo attacked the human family with a toxon, wearing white garb in the form of the pharmaceutical companies. So, you know, the arrow was like the syringe. And you also know that Apollo is linked to the Hippocratic Oath. They swear by Apollo. So in the first seal, we show all the things Apollo was known for, and his son, and all about the medical profession. And we show how the first horseman in the Greek is literally agents wearing white who serve Apollo will infect the human race. This is basically the Greek for the first seal. One of the common things that was unfolding in the first seal during the whole COVID narrative was lockdowns. And that's exactly what the Purge is. The Purge is a lockdown. Now, in the movies, it's a 12-hour period for one night. But this is only 2025. We got to get through the end of 2025, all of 2026, all of 2027, and then the beginning of 2028 before we get to Apollo Nemesius. So we're not even halfway through the second seal period, and it's already gotten very, very interesting. So this is we may see lockdowns for different reasons. They may be security reasons, but it's during the lockdowns that's going to be unusual. Because remember, the lockdowns, I don't know where you were, but where I was, they weren't forced. They scared everybody into doing it. I was never locked down because I was a contractor, and contractors were labeled as essential workers. So me and Big John and JR, we worked every day. But a lot of people lock themselves down, and that's cool. But during the purge, most law-abiding citizens are going to willingly lock themselves down. But the criminal element won't. If the federal government says there's a 7-day mandatory lockdown, if the federal government announces, okay, you have 30 days to prepare for a 7-day lockdown. You have 30 days to prepare. Giving the entire population 30 days to go in there and get all the supplies you need, whatever. 7 days, you're going to be locked down. If the United States government did that, crime would spike, and there's nothing that law enforcement really could do about it. It would be overwhelmed. There's never enough law enforcement for all the crime, and there never will be. But during that 7 days, 99.9% of all law-abiding citizens are going to do what the government tells them to do, and they're going to stay home, not only because the government told them, but because there's no reason to go out. It's not safe out there. But it's the criminal element that's not going to obey. It's the criminal element that doesn't have any fear, and it's the criminal element that's armed to the teeth. What do you think they're going to do during that 7 days when they know law enforcement's just never going to be able to respond to them in time? What do you think? That's a purge. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the criminal element themselves are getting purged. Why? Because in the United States, people are armed to the teeth. So, but you're only armed to an extent. Most people haven't thought it through. It's not going to be 2, 3, or 4 guys that come try to kick door your house. That's not how the criminal element works at all. You guys don't forget, you're talking to somebody who spent 26 years in a South Texas prison. I kind of know what I'm talking about. What you're going to have is 20, 30, 40, 50 men in a clique, and about 10 to 12 of them coming from the street to hit your door, while 10 to 12 hit another door side by side, and reinforcements stay out in the street watching both houses as they go in. Now, you may be armed, but are you armed enough for that? Are you armed enough to handle 10 people running through your front door rapidly? That's all I'm asking. I know a lot of people like to tough talk, saying, I got this, I'm going to do this, Okay, cool. All that sounds good. It sounds real good until you're the one up under the gun. When you got a gang of people bearing down on you quickly. So the lockdowns are another common denominator. It's just, now there was a weird drop in the Purge franchise movies where one of the main characters, he's named over and over again. His name is Sabian. And Sabian is a name from Saba of Arabic origin. It almost seems like in the predictive programming of the Purge movies, there is an Arabic undertone to whatever's going on that causes the lockdown. So you translate that as any way you want. If you want to know more details, you just need to watch those other movies. I might go ahead and just go through my playlist after this video and just provide you a whole post with the links to all the SEALs videos. y'all want me to do that, just say so in the group. It won't take long. I can go through all the playlists. I can find those videos because a couple of them are movie breakdowns about 2025 and 2026. So in the first Purge movie, the Purge actually kicks off with a blackout. The first Purge movie is a blackout. They literally turn the power off. Nobody has power. And the reason it's scheduled like that is because they have lock systems for different houses. These are Purge. There's different companies that come in and build you Purge-proof defense houses and doors with reinforced steel behind them and windows with bars and all that. So, it's kind of ridiculous, but that's what they have. They have these American companies that go out and do these they Purge-proof houses. But you have to be indoors when the government shuts the power off, because if your defense system has already been activated, then once the power goes off, you're safe. You're safe. Your doors and windows are all locked shut. But if they turn all the power off and you don't have a backup generator, you can't lock your house down once the power's out. So the Purge is pushed. This is the final thing here. It's so bizarre, which has everything to do with this weird religious zeal that's taking over America right now. It's like a hijacking of the Christian narrative to politicize Christianity. And in the Purge franchise, the leaders of the new Purge party are called the NFFT, and they're all ministers and priests, and they even perform Purge ceremonies where they sacrifice and where they kill. They do midnight Purge masses. These are religious leaders in America during the Purge that have people go out and bring victims to them into the church, and in the name of God, they purge these people. Christian Reich, anybody? So, kind of puts a whole new spin on the Patriot pacification narrative of the 3 days of darkness. Yeah, man. So crazy. So there's a little Easter egg. There's an Easter egg in one of the Purge movies. And when a car is going around a corner, the cameraman pans the camera down to the license plate as the car's going around a corner, and the license plate says, "A Nation Reborn." This is during the Purge night, a nation reborn. So, also process this. In the Purge franchise, guillotines are put in just different places. Just like pallets full of bricks just suddenly appear right before rioters start breaking up, disrupting cities and start rioting and attacking pedestrians and cars and all that. Yeah, pallets of bricks. Who's putting these pallets of bricks out there? People have photographed this stuff. But in the Purge franchise, right before the Purge lockdown, they're out there putting guillotines in different random locations. They're not telling anybody to use them, but you think they're not. You don't. Yeah, when they drag people out of their homes and stuff, where you don't think they're going to drag them to the guillotine. They don't show it in the Purge movies, but they got them set up. There is an interesting reference in the movie Forever Purge about Texas. Right before Purge night, really cryptically, the news anchor lady says, "Good night, Texas. Good night and good luck." The way she says it is very ominous. It's like, is something special planned for Texas? Because I'm going to tell you now, Texas, armed to the teeth. 45 million people are here. Huge state. Takes 14 hours to drive from east to west in Texas. It's huge. So I wonder, I mean, I don't know. It's very cryptic, but she says good night and good luck. Well, that's an Easter egg. The reason it's an Easter egg is because there's a 2005 movie 9 years before the 2016 Purge movie came out. There's a 2005 movie called Good Night and Good Luck. The movie concerns Senator McCarthy. Remember McCarthyism? The movie Good Night and Good Luck concerns Senator McCarthy, and when he went out onto the Senate floor and showed a list of 5,000 names of communists and Jews who had taken over the United States government and were in all kinds of positions of power, and it basically helped each other get to those positions of power, and they were all working against U.S. interests. This is McCarthyism. It's a Senator McCarthy. What she said, good night, Texas, good night and good luck. That's an Easter egg referencing that movie, Good Night and Good Luck, which is about Senator McCarthy exposing a massive communist and Jewish presidents embedded within the United States governmental hierarchy. So you take that wherever you want to take it. I'm just telling you what the Easter egg is. What it means, I don't know. But it's connected to the Purge movies. I don't know. Man, even at 10 after 10, it's 10 after 10, it's getting warm again. Let's see. All right. So that's what's in the field right now, guys. That is exactly what's in the field. It is absolutely crazy stuff happening. And I just don't know what to do with it. Archaixlive@gmail.com. As is my habit when we do these late night ones, if you want to come on the screen, let's talk about the Purge. Let's talk about what you know about what's going on around there, what you've seen, what have you seen on social media? Is there other news drops? Is there other dots to connect here that we haven't seen? So, yeah, man. Respect the long line of other people that want to come on screen too. You know, I've done archaixlive@gmail.com. Drop me an email right now and I'll send you an invite link. But in the past, there's been a few times when, you know, people talk too long and I don't like being rude, but tonight I'm going to cut you off. Because there's too many people trying to come on the screen for you to spend 15 minutes trying to explain whatever you're trying to explain. So get to it. If you think it's going to take you a long time, you best not drop me your email. But if you got something you want to say to the community, get out here, give a shout out or whatever. Archaixlive@gmail.com. Start dropping me a little email. Just say, hey, I want to come on. That's all you got to say. I'm going to drop you the link. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and open up my email right now and separate it from the old emails. Let's see. Archaix Live. There we go. Put this down here. All right. It's too much. Took me an hour to get all that out. Goodbye, city life. I know that quote. Miss Tree. Oh, man, Wire Paladin, you're right, man. Yeah, you're talking about many, many homeless people in Texas going missing. Man, I can tell you some stories. I can tell you stories about a medical ship that comes to Houston Ship Channel every once in a while, and how Houston just empties a home. I don't know where all the homeless people go. I don't know where they go. Yeah, man. You won't catch me at McDonald's. Okay, so I'm in Archaix Live. What is that? Okay, archaixlive@gmail.com. That's where you need to be. If you want to come on screen, just kick it. Meanwhile, let me remove that from studio. I got something else to remove. What am I going to remove this here? Stop sharing. All right. Let me find this invite link. Okay, I got me an invite here. Don't be shy. Don't be shy, guys. I ain't got a single email yet. How's that happening? I normally get deluged with emails. Is it too late? Is it past your bedtime? What's going on? Yeah, man, I couldn't believe that a-hole. You guys saw my post. Big John and I genuinely emailed this guy. I don't even remember his name now. Genuinely emailed this guy to come on to Archaix to share with my community what he does, what he's about. No, we looked at his channel. He sends me this. I'm talking about, I couldn't believe it when I read it. Doesn't address me by name. It's like a general form letter, but it's so dripping with he's condescending. Yeah, Dr. Justin Sledge. So he felt it. Listen to me. Dr. Justin Sledge felt the heat. Evidently, you guys were going to his channel. I don't know. But within 10 minutes of that post being on YouTube, he already commented in the deal. But his comment was even slimier. It was even slimier than the original response to Big John and I. Yeah, condescending bastard. I promise you, that dude ever gets in a debate with me, I'm gonna embarrass him. And I hope he hears this. Yeah, him and Wes Huff together don't make a man. I'm gonna tell you now. I got no backup in me. These guys think that these college educations and these doctorates of divinity mean anything to me. They don't mean anything to me. The only thing that means anything to me are facts. And if you don't have them, I'm gonna expose you. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. Yeah, man. This dude answered in the comment, real slimy answer. He thanked me for giving him more coverage. Yeah, real slimy. Yeah, man. And then he also tried to bait me. He literally tried to bait me with the Jew stuff. And I'm like, man, I don't give a damn about him being Jewish. I don't care about that, man. It seems like every time I get into it with these guys, and half the time I don't even know. I don't know what you are. I don't investigate you. But when I find out and they're heavily defensive about it, it's like, damn, why do you have a complex about who you are? I never said anything about that. I don't get it. It's just so crazy, man. Uh-oh, the Purge now. I got two of them. I'm dropping them in right now. Oh, I got more. Archaixlive@gmail.com. Will my moderators put that in there? Archaixlive@gmail.com. He's real lucky. He's real lucky that I got other things to do right now, because it's nothing to me to go on his channel, find some of the things that he's promoting, dissect it. I can dissect it, put out an awesome YouTube video exposing the idiocy this dude is promoting, and then turn around and then have Big John sit here and promote it and put it on social media, and we'll just pay X, pay Facebook, pay Instagram, because you can boost posts and just put it out there. I said, this is the idiot right here. I can back somebody into a corner real fast, because just like look at Billy Carson. Billy Carson got more attention, not from me attacking him. He got more attention, negative attention, from all the people that were realizing, damn, how come he's not answering this guy's accusations? Jason is steadily unleashing videos with new data, exposing the same thing that I've been exposing about Billy Carson's erroneous position on the Shar. And Jimmy Corsetti on the Archaix structure Atlantis, and Graham Hancock on the dating of Atlantis. I'm steadily producing new information, but it's the same argument. What you're talking about is absolute BS, and I'm willing to debate it. I'm willing to prove to the public debate, you know what I mean, that what you're promoting is absolute fallacy. It's BS. None of these guys will come to the table because the data is clear. The data is totally clear. In the case of Jimmy Corsetti and Billy Carson, they defaulted to my criminal history. So what? You can do whole videos about my criminal history. I wouldn't give a damn. I was a 17-year-old kid. F you. I do not care. But the fact that you did that exposed your hand. You're a shill. That's why I call them shills. That's what they are. So it's so childish, man. Social media has gotten so pedantic. And now we got a new one to add. Don't think I'm gonna let that go. Yeah, Dr. Sledge. I just need a little bit of time. I got a lot of projects I'm working on, but I might reach out and grab 2 or 3 of his videos and go ahead and do a little expose and take him down a notch. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because I have to. I do it because I can. Yeah. Oh, we got somebody from Holland in here. Oh man, it's going down. I think we've talked to somebody from Holland before. We're gonna have the Dutch in here. I sent 5 of you or 6 of you links. Always first. Jonathan Sherman. Where you at, Jonathan? I can only see half of you. Can't see you, bro. You in the dark. Something wrong with your camera setup. I can't see nor hear you. You're gonna have to fix that, man. I can't see nor hear you.
I'll try it back.
Oh, there he is. No, I can hear you now.
Oh, thanks, man.
So you are in shadow. Why are you
sitting in my car right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry that. There we go. If that's any better. The problem is I'm sitting in a parking lot to watch the sunset, and I got a police officer sitting directly pointing right at me right now. Yeah. He was parked right in the same parking lot, so I feel like I'm a big target right now. I had a couple questions for you that are I can make them Purge related, but some that were off topic. And I only called in because nobody was calling. Normally I just leave it for other people.
I'm gonna stop you right there. 1, I like the hat.
Thank you, sir.
2, you're the one that's been asking me about the Nemesis X stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, let me tell you something. I worked on for about 6 hours today. I worked on organizing all my Nemesis X files because I'm about to upload them all to Archaix Underground tomorrow. But before I could upload all that data, I had to organize it. I had to see how much I really had, and I've got a lot more than I remember. So it's So I know, I just remember your name. You're the one that wants the Dark Satellite and Nemesis X, so it's coming to a theater near you.
Well, I appreciate that.
I'm going to have to do a whole Nemesis X video because I have that much information that I totally forgot about.
Yeah, and it's coming, so. I had a question about this Purge situation. One of the things you brought up was the emblem on the Purge and how it was the Star of David, comprising the 13 colonies. I've been wondering, in regards to the way that things are kind of playing out in the world in general, and given the way that like the upper echelon of the tiny hats is willing to sacrifice the lower portion. If this whole thing is not being just like, if Israel's just completely being set up, I mean, the Star of David was what was removed in the new symbol, and then it was two knives in its place. And there's just been like all these other indications, the fact that it's so open on YouTube that you can say things that you couldn't before, and the narrative seems to be shifting and becoming more allowant, more tolerant, that maybe that it's pushing that direction. What are your thoughts on that?
I think we're reliving a 1931, 32, and 33 scenario where our controllers are now for the whole Western world doing what they had done only for Germany back in 1931, 32, and 33, which was basically groom the German people to get them to the position, because they saturated the German people with, man, look how the Jews are living in your country, man. They got kids got shoes on their feet. Your kids go to school barefoot. They groomed the German people to finally get fed up, and this is what instigated the whole Reichstag. This is what instigated the whole rise in popularity of Adolf Hitler. So at least this is in the propagandized, version of history that we've been given. So if it's true that it was all by design in 1931, 32, and 33, then it's all by design now.
Right.
It's all by design now, because me, like I said, I don't see any other way than just calling it what it is. In a parasite-host relationship, the parasite has to be smarter than the host, and it has to understand. Once you're no longer regarded as a minority anymore, and people don't take you seriously as a minority anymore, then you lose a lot of those rights, privileges, and immunities, and then it causes all kinds of problems. So the best thing in a parasite-host relationship is for the parasite to be self-regulatory and to do exactly what you just said, to go ahead and sacrifice those that it chooses to sacrifice to fulfill two things. One is to bring its population back down to a minority status again, and two, can always cry victim. It can always fall back under the victim status.
Plus, it always reinserts itself back into the ruling class of whatever is going to become then the dominant structure, like nefariously behind the scenes, like it does parasitically in the shadows, like the cockroaches they are. Sorry about that.
So man, it's all part of the sim, dude.
Yeah.
I'm a simulationist. I can't even look at history anymore. I can't even look at the world around me anymore without realizing, man, these are programming protocols. Yeah, I mean, that's a feedback loop. That's dungeon programming. Man, this right here is an interference pattern. None of this stuff makes sense anymore. I mean, the history of the world, it's all designed this way. And when you and I exit these avatars, you and I may be sitting in some capital court somewhere looking back like, hey, man, remember when we were in the Nemesis sim? Remember when me and you were talking on YouTube? Man, we didn't even realize, man, how awesome it was out here. Well, we sign up for this all the time because where we're from, there is no sin. Where we're from, there is no death. Where we're from, there are no risks.
Totally.
So we volunteer for these experiences. But when we're in here, we actually believe that they're real, and they're not. None of this is real. The only thing real here is me and you. Nothing else is real.
All right. I'll let the next caller have a good one, bro. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Hey, listen. Are you in Archaix Underground?
Bro, I signed up and I got real busy this week. I have barely been able to watch the shows, but I will get on. I'll get back on tonight.
Well, I'm just saying, tomorrow I'm about to unleash on the Nemesis X and Dark Satellite. I'm about to upload all that.
Also, Bro, thank you for doing that Colburn breakdown, because it is the most extensive Phoenix document in the entire world. And
Yes,
I'm
it is.
convinced that it is. There are other archaic references to the great book, this one book that like made it through. And I do think that it is the Colburn, but also it's easy, especially since, you know, you found the Phoenix, to get lost in that. There are so many gnarly spiritual truths about
Right.
us inhabiting avatars and things that are just, and the fact that these truths were inherent and available 2,000 years ago and have got jumped. They were more pure way back before we had Christianity and Judaism and any of this shit. When you read the original forms, than they have been. I mean, thanks for bringing that book up. I can't tell enough people to read that freaking book. It's amazing.
Yeah, Colburn Bible's awesome. 685
Oh, it's legit,
pages.
man. It's legit.
All right, man.
All right.
Well, I'm going to get Jeff M in here.
Yeah,
it was good talking
Have
to
a
you
great
again.
one. Yeah, you too, brother. Thanks.
Holler at you later. What's up, Jeff M?
Hey, Jason. Good
Hey.
evening to you.
How you doing, man?
Good. I'm surprised more people didn't get in there, but
Oh, I
You
got
know,
a long,
maybe-
I got a long line of people now.
yeah, all right. Well, I kind of like that you're focusing on a topic like the Purge, and I wonder if a lot of people are going to stick to that. But it's interesting that you had this guy on before, just the last guy you were talking about, Nemesis, and he wanted more on that. It'd be
Yeah.
interesting if you had a show format where you just focused in with your callers on just like the roots of the Bible, or one of these subject areas. And I don't think I've seen you do the breakdown of the dating methods, all the falsities in the various dating methods that are used to come up with uniformitarianism. Am I wrong, or did you do that video ever?
Man, I've got so many videos on calendars. I don't know exactly what you're trying to get specific about. I just ordered a Fomenko book off of Amazon because I'm going to review his work just to satisfy my Tartarian brothers. All the people that pushed the Tartarian narrative and that we're missing 1,000 years and all that, I went ahead and ordered the Fomenko research. I'm going to go through it just so I can do an analysis on it.
Well, I was talking about, say, carbon dating, or all the different dating methods people use to establish how old something is, the ice cores. And
okay,
I think
the only thing I've done on that was the recent video I did called 685 Fossils That Prove. Did you see that video last week? It's called 685 Fossils That Prove the Uniformitarian dating is false.
No, I didn't see that last one, but I saw you did one before. I forget the name of the series you did, the Medusa Effect. I think
No. Okay, you're thinking of something about a year and a half ago. The Medusa Effect video. Okay, no, this is last week, and in the title is 600 and something. Does somebody know what the number was? 659 fossils, something like that. But in that video, I show on the screen all the scientific relative dating methods, and I give you the 7 assumptions that every single one of them require you to make before you can even use that system. It's ridiculous. You're not even going to believe it, dude. You're not even going to believe it. But it's in all science books. These are the 7 things that you have to believe are true before you can even quote a carbon-14 date, potassium argon date, before you can even go into ice core drilling date. It is ridiculous. I'm talking about all 7 of these things are untrue, but you have to agree that they're true in order to promote the relative dating models. So you might want to watch that video because I do go into depth on that.
Okay, all right, so maybe I will ask you some short questions, and you can give me some short answers.
Sure.
You did a video. I wish I could remember it, but you rattled off a whole series of origin stories and myths of all these ancient civilizations.
Mhm.
And it was like there's so much focus on the collapse of civilizations. We've had so many movies about the fall of Rome, and which I don't think we've got an accurate picture of why it collapsed. But there's an origin story to the rise of civilizations that I think is significantly missing. And I think you touched on something one time where you just would quote after quote. I don't even think you had any notes in front of you. You were blowing me away, but you probably don't remember that, huh? that specific video that you did? It was probably a couple years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of our origin stories are like the appearance of Oannes, the Babylonian story, how he came out of the sea. That's why they depicted him as a fish. Cecrops was depicted with a fish tail. That's because he was an ancient mariner and he led a fleet in settled Athens. There's so many origin stories. Like Enki came with 50 Anuna out of the deep. They too were on a ship. They were mariners. All these origin stories are mariner stories of fleets having ships of men arriving to different areas. But the Native American traditions are slightly different. Almost all the Native American traditions, the origin stories are they came up out of the ground somewhere. A lot of times they were living among the ant people. They're living underground. In ancient Phrygia, the origin story was that they came out of the ground. They came out of caves and of a kingdom in the underworld that was founded by a king named Archaix before the flood. Archaix knew that the world was about to be destroyed, so he had his people build underground cities in Phrygia. Phrygia's Turkey. That's where we found Derinkuyu and the other 58 underground cities. And then right above the underground cities in Cappadocia is right there. You go Göbekli Tepe, all the other Tepe sites, the Huyuk sites, and that area of the world too has origin stories of them coming up from the underworld, as if everything before that was lost. Not just the civilizations, but their history. They just forgot everything. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I do have.
That wasn't.
Go ahead.
What I'm kind of interested in is that there's an energy, there's a spirit and a people that propels them to create civilization. I'm not talking about creating empire, and I don't actually believe civilization automatically falls. I think my new theory is, when I look at the history, and now that I understand that the Bronze Age collapse better, that it was induced. People, unless it's a Phoenix event, or unless it's a seafarers wiping out of all the civilizations in the Mediterranean, I think civilizations just keep building and people keep prospering until some outside entity comes in, or some outside force disrupts it. And so and instead of me waxing on, I want to just get one question in for you, because I've been really focused on the Bronze Age collapse, and I see who the seafarers people were. And here's the one question I'll leave you with. The people who inhabit all these ancient cities that are in ruins now, all throughout the Levant, Tyre, present day Carthage, if you go all around this loop where all the seafarer peoples wiped out these civilizations, there were some great monolithic builder civilizations.
Yeah.
Is that what you call them? And what happened to the people? And if you look at the people who are there now, my theory is that those were the seafarers. You're looking at the product of rape and pillage of the existing people. And whatever DNA and racial characteristics you're looking at all around the Mediterranean, which we think of as Arab, I think that's the rape of probably Celtic Aryan people who inhabited that area. Whatever, I think they're a white race of people, and they got mixed up and conquered by the seafarers. And I think that's what you're looking at today were the equivalent, I think, of Jewish pirates, their ancestors, and that they didn't rebuild any of these civilizations. And where did civilization rebuild itself? Eventually, after a dark age, in Athens. And I think you've kind of alluded to this, that the people seem to have, whoever these people were who refounded civilization in Greece, that maybe there was some link to the people who left the lands of Israel. Like maybe stuff was just getting so heavy and hard to deal with, the people left, and maybe there was a connection. But either way, what do you think about I think you were nodding your head. Do you tend to agree that the seafaring people and their ancestors and the intermixture of the people they conquered is what we're looking at racially in the Middle East?
I'm going to need more clarity. When you say seafaring people, are you talking about the Sea People's Federation, the ones that in the War of Atlantis and Athens and all that? Or are you talking about somebody else?
Well, I guess I'm assuming that the Greeks, the so-called Greeks who invaded Troy, were part of the seafarers, and I think
Okay,
that all
that would have been Mycenae. That was the Mycenaeans had taken over the maritime sea trade of the Mediterranean from the Minoans after the volcano on Thera blew up and destroyed the Minoan capital, Knossos. So the Minoans ruled the Mediterranean up until that point as the primary mariner force, the navies. The Mycenaeans took over. These are the ancient Greeks of Argos. So they took over. They became the next seafarer nation. But they weren't the Sea People's Federation. These strangers came from the Atlantic. And when they came in, they took everything over.
I guess I'm trying to logically deduce, like, how does the people who build a civilization like the Mycenaean civilization or any of the other great civilizations, how do they all of a sudden just become corrupt and decide they're going to go out and rape and loot and pillage and destroy everything they encounter, every building, every text,
I get what you're saying there, and I'm going to tell you that it's in my Chronicon. I don't see these events unfolding until right out. These are always the residual effect of a mass systemic collapse caused by either Phoenix, the Dark Satellite, or Nemesis X. I don't see humans really do get along. All throughout history, humans are pretty much getting along. There might be minor squabbles, battles, and all that, but civilizations and empires continue. But man, but the situation you're talking about, mass systemic collapse, those are always following a major Phoenix, Nemesis X, or Dark Satellite reset.
So you don't think the seafarers were as wide? You don't think the seafarers event was as widespread and isolated? Or you think it's more isolated? I'm tending to look at the history and seeing how much in common the seafarers had with these Greeks who went over. What we think of them as Greeks, but maybe they weren't the same Greeks in Plato's time. They were a different kind of people, maybe an altogether different people, because according to the legends, say Agamemnon was supposed to sacrifice his daughter. Who was into sacrificing people? I guess the army that Agamemnon was going to go out with wanted him to sacrifice his daughter. So there's something evil. There's this evil element I see it's a different type of energy than civilization building energy. I think people who build civilizations, I don't think they're coexisting with people who sacrifice their children and go out and raid other people's civilizations and destroy all their books. Civilization building people would protect books, would protect knowledge, and would be self-sufficient in terms of trying to solve their problems. That's my interpretation of Western man and the ancient civilization building peoples.
The Mediterranean world was a violent place, and human sacrifice was the norm anytime they were making large public or capital buildings. Are you familiar with the term capital pillar?
No.
Okay, the principal pillar in when they were raising temples, government buildings, or just huge structures was a human sacrificial. There was underneath the capital pillar would be a recess. Underneath that recess would be tables of the law, books, time capsule type stuff, maybe very perfectly made weapons and all that. But underneath the other pillar would be another recess where a human sacrificial victim was placed. And this was standard in the Mediterranean world. This was practiced widespread. In 1687 BC, in the Palace of Knossos, in 1983. In 1983, archaeologists found in the ruins of the Palace of Knossos from the old palace, which was destroyed in a Phoenix cataclysm in 1687 BC. They found the skeleton of a boy who was still spread out on the altar, but the whole temple had crashed down on top of him, and they built a new temple on top of it. So he was perfectly preserved. He was right there, the sacrificial dagger. So apparently in 1687 BC, the earthquakes had scared them enough to go ahead. They were going to sacrifice this kid or whatever. But in Poseidon, this is what you're talking about, the Mediterranean, the mariner worship was Poseidon worship. And in Poseidon worship, it was a habit of, you're familiar with the Perseus and Andromeda, the Medusa story, where Andromeda was chained to a rock, and the Kraken, which was tsunami, was going to come kill her in order to save.
But Jason, wouldn't you have to agree that the majority of all the texts from those times all got destroyed during the Bronze Age collapse? And mostly what was recovered were people retelling stories. So I think Homer retold the story of the invasion of Troy and made people look more heroic. And I think they were not heroic. I think they were a bunch of, I have no respect for those people who went and invaded that great civilization called Troy. And I think we're getting a clouded story about what took place. Just like today, we're all worshiping. There's been a lot of World War II hero worship as time progresses, but the actual events, maybe they're not worth celebrating. And I never won. Huh?
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, I agree.
So I'm just doubting. I don't want to drag on because I know other people are out there. I'm just doubting the narratives, even the ones you're telling me, that that civilization building people are going to be at the same time having this energy that's child sacrifice, evil spirits, really doing evil shit, enslaving. I think they're two opposite things.
I get it, but you're actually tackling a topic that would require 16 hours of dissertation. So
that's true.
What I can say is that I can agree with you, and that the actual builders, like the Heliolithic Maritime Empire that actually built these megalithic wonders and structures, they weren't the ones doing all that. But 500 years later, the rulers of those same civilizations were already now into sacrifice. They were into all kinds of denigrating practices. Same geographical areas, same great megalithic cities, a totally different government. I mean, no government stays the same after 500 years. They just don't. But
right. There's a process, and you're right. So I won't take up any more of anybody else's time. But yeah, that's the gist of what I've been thinking about and looking at, and I'm really questioning so many of the assumptions about this period, and especially because, like I said, I think a lot of the history was destroyed, and a lot of the pieces we're finding are only in the last couple hundred years. It's stuff that people failed to fully destroy that people have found in the different cities, and there's a really different picture that could probably be told, and I don't know why the Phoenicians are this mystery people who somehow didn't get tainted by this Bronze Age collapse, but I have suspicions about them. And I think a dark age after the Bronze Age collapse came over all the Mediterranean. And I think the Phoenician people I don't even think there were Jewish people then. I think the spirit of that energy dominated the Phoenician Empire, and they were just crushing everybody else and wiping out history books. And, very few things survived the period. And then when Greece comes into the picture, I think they don't have a full picture. I mean, they have an incomplete picture, and people are writing stories, and they're trying to imbue this beautiful spirit.
I do not disagree. I'm absolutely in agreement with everything you just said. It's
well, you should be, because a lot of what it comes from you. A lot of listening to you has helped shape some of this, what I'm telling you.
Yeah, Homer, Hesiod, and Theognis are the first Greek writers, and they're very, very, very almost cartoonish in their descriptions of history. It took another 150 years for the Greeks to polish it up and have some really fantastic Greek philosophical historical writings. But the first three everything was so hugely mythological. But I got to go. I got Silver Sage behind this.
Yeah. Thanks, Jason.
But yeah, Jeff M, I'll holler at you later.
Later.
I remember you.
Hey, Jason, how's it going?
I'm good. Just kicking it.
How's
late
the
night.
audio? What's that?
Pretty good. Just kicking it with Jeff M, Jonathan Sherman, Crystal Pistol, and everybody else in the chat. Pamela Swan.
Yeah, it's a good community for sure.
Yeah, man, it's awesome people. It's awesome people.
I got my son in the background playing, but I wanted to ask you if you had watched. There's a series called Revolution, and it's after the United States and maybe possibly globally where the power went out. But they had an episode where they talked about midichlorians, which I thought was really interesting because Star Wars talks about the midichlorians.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we watched that.
I've never seen it. No, I haven't watched a lot. Mainly the movies I've watched are the ones you guys have told me I need to go see, and I haven't even watched all those. I don't have a lot of time to watch TV.
Yeah, it's a series. Here, I'm on TV. All right, well, Jason, I'm gonna let you go. Thanks a lot for
Nah, you need
having
to
me
ask
on
another
tonight.
question. Now, I'm gonna buzz out. I'm buzzing out on the side. You need to ask a different question.
Okay, I've been doing a lot of research on the Sears catalog, Sears Robux, and it just seems really interesting that they are um okay. It has a tie to with the Panama Canal, and one of my friends that I had, longtime friends, talked about the Panama Canal and how it's tied in with the Sears catalog. That they got some of the indigenous people to help out um, after the French went in to build, and they failed the Panama Canal. Then
Yeah.
the indigenous helped the United States because we acquired it, and I don't have all the paperwork in front of me right now because my memory's a little scattered from that. But they actually sold houses from the catalog, and they would take the catalogs and give it to the indigenous people so it helped so they could help do the Panama Canal. Do you have any research or anything that would tie Sears to this Panama Canal?
That's interesting, and I'm going to tell you now. I don't have anything that's going to tie it to the Panama Canal. What I do have is I do have a video on YouTube, and maybe one of my moderators can find it. But I do have a video 1897 Sears Roebuck catalog, and in the entire video, I'm just showing off everything that's in this Sears Roebuck from 1897, and I'm showing how beautiful everything was. It looked like it was handcrafted. The clothes, the pipes, the stoves, though even the weaponry, everything was so beautiful in 1897 that people were proud to own and buy and make all this stuff. Yeah, it was awesome. But when it comes to canals, there is no mystery to me for the Panama Canal. The real mystery is the Suez Canal. And the reason I'm saying that is the Suez Canal in Egypt. We have this narrative that it was, dug out and built in the 1800s and early 1900s, whenever. But truth be told, is I have archaeology books from the 1800s that talk about the Suez Canal and that there was megalithic architecture already there. And when they were clearing the desert area out, they found out that some ancient, unknown, unnamed civilization had already had a canal there. But yeah, that's the only thing I know about canals. They're really interesting.
Yeah, that it's just really drawing me in. And then prior to the United States getting a contract for the canal, there was a gentleman, and I can't remember his name, but he had designed, he was an engineer, and he had designed a train rail system that would go from one side of the United States or through Panama. I can't remember where it was, and he would basically load up these cargo ships. And he mysteriously died just prior to, prior to the contract where the United States got, oh, here, buddy. The United States got the Panama Canal. So I find it so fascinating because they had a contract with this gentleman to do the rail system and everything, and then he was just offed, it seems like. And then they did the
Listen, man, the railway companies back then, they weren't playing around. I mean, they were nefarious, cutthroat. Yeah. Before mass transit, really, it was the railroad companies in the 1870s, 1880s, 1890s that were running America, building America. Talking about it's crazy.
Well, I appreciate it, Jason, and thanks for putting that underground together. That's been a lot of fun.
Man, yeah, it's awesome in there. It's awesome.
Yeah,
in
learning
there.
learning and being able to post and talk to the community. Got some good people in there.
Yeah, man.
So
All
it's
right.
appreciated.
I'll talk to you later. Tonight, everything's dead tonight. I don't think anybody wants to come on tonight. That's okay. That's all right. I'm going to go ahead and close my email. I don't see anybody else coming in. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, Nanny Boo Boo, I just got that one. We're getting spam with trolls tonight. I've already sniped that same guy twice. The one that keeps coming in talking about freedom of speech, freedom is whatever. Yeah, you're not gonna spam my chat. That's a computer program that allows them to spam like that because I have the chat on something like 20-second delay between. For him to be able to do that, he's a bot or he's using a bot farm. I'm getting pretty good at it though. I done sniped him twice, like within seconds. Yeah, man. Get my pistol. Got him twice. That's crazy, man. So crazy. They're targeting my channel. I'm not gonna let them stay. So guys, it's yeah, I was really expecting this to go a lot longer, man, but there's nobody coming in tonight. That's all right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and go through the my playlist, and I'm gonna put the links together so you guys can have all the seals videos and the 2 or 3 videos where I was describing Purge scenario. So I'll put those together. I'll post it in X and I'll post it on YouTube community. But man, I'm really hype about tonight. I was not expecting over 2,000 people. I think we got up to 2,200 people at once. But that's really unusual for this late at night. Oh, I know what it is. Man, Jimmy Kimmel's not on at night no more. They all came to Archaix. Imagine that. I can't stand Jimmy Kimmel too. None of those late night pundits. And remember, that's another one of my predictions. For the last 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, I've been telling you, I says the more this pendulum swings to the right, you're going to start seeing all kinds of liberal political pundits, actors, actresses, comedians all start losing clout in society. Look how many liberal actors have been called out now behind all kinds of stuff. Yeah, they don't even show their face in public anymore. Look at them. Yeah, man. And ever since Ricky Gervais got on their ass at the Oscars, or no, it was at the Golden Globes, you don't even see about Tom Hanks. He don't make any public appearances. And I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, I'm embarrassed that this dude, Mark Hamill, played Luke Skywalker. I'm embarrassed about that because he's super dripping brainwashed liberal. Mark Hamill. Yeah, man. Can't stand that dude. And just like in the Star Wars movie, you guys, some of y'all don't know this about Star Wars, but in the Star Wars story, Mark Hamill does the same thing Yoda and the same thing does the same thing Yoda, and he does the same thing Obi-Wan Kenobi did. Go hide out on a planet way out there in the Outer Rim territories in his later part of his life. He did the same thing. Yeah. That's who Mark Hamill is. He's a hider. Yeah, man. Ricky Gervais, how you say his name? I never could say his name, but that's the greatest comedian of all time. Yeah, man. Love that dude. I wish I could get him on my channel, man. I think it would be badass. Let's see. I'm way back here in the chat. I'm never going to catch up on the chat tonight. Chat was going on fire tonight. I'm steady scrolling down. I ain't even got to the end yet. Jennifer Corsetti's bot farm. Yeah. So crazy, man. So crazy. Uh-oh. Somebody joined me backstage. Somebody joined me backstage. Who is this? Slavid? How you say that?
Slavid.
Slavid. Okay, cool.
What's up, man? I'm a big fan. I've been listening to you for years now. I remember the first
Awesome.
first live I saw was the one you did with a black lady, and you guys were talking about
Man,
the Civil
dude.
War.
Say, I've been trying to get in touch with that girl. Oh, she's the one that coined the word chatmosphere. And I've never heard anybody else say that. But when she was interviewing me, she says, "Oh my God, look at the chatmosphere. It is supercharged." And yeah, man, I like that. But you know what? I wanted to borrow that from her, but I always felt that was uniquely for her. But you know what? She hasn't done a video in over a year and a half. I went and checked her channel. I'll say she just disappeared.
Yeah, that was a really good one too, and that was my first live I actually caught live. I watched a couple episodes before that. You just showed up on my algorithm. You know, your videos were all grainy and stuff, and I was like, who's this guy? But, you know, after watching a couple of them, I was like, man.
Yep.
And then I caught that live. I was like, man, I just want to say that, you know, you've really enriched my life a lot since watching you. I've been keeping up with all your stuff, and you're on point compared to all these other YouTubers. Yeah, you're the shit.
I appreciate it, man. I try to be. But you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything but telling you guys exactly 100% what I believe, man. And I'm never going to tell you guys something I don't believe.
Yeah, I definitely resonate with you. You're you're a badass, man. You got to keep up the good work. You know, people need you.
I appreciate it. Where are you hailing from?
I'm in El Salvador right now in my Airbnb, but I'm based out of Virginia.
Okay, cool. That's cool. I've got a female friend that's in South America right now. I think OG Face Diaper, he's in the chat. He was just in El Salvador. I got friends that go to Central America routinely, back and forth.
Yeah, OG, he's a funny guy. I like watching his comments.
Yeah, he surfs. He goes up and down the coast from Central America all the way to Florida, trying to catch those waves.
Yeah, that's badass. I want to learn how to surf. I'm a skateboarder. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I like skateboarding.
I spent the 80s skateboarding. And let me tell you something. I will continue to promote skateboarding over surfing because I don't get along with sharks. I don't get along with sharks, jellyfish, man of wars, all that stuff.
That's my problem too. I'm scared of the aqua life.
Yeah, man. Something tells me that I probably taste real good. So I'm not going out there in that ocean, man.
Yeah, I got sweet blood, so I'm the same way.
All right, bro. That's good. It was good talking to you, man. Next time you come to the States, man, try to hit a meetup.
Yeah, next time you're in Virginia or on the East Coast, let me know.
Oh, I'll be on the East Coast. That's probably going to be. I'll do a Houston meetup pretty soon because it's local. But yeah, my next meetup is going to have to be somewhere on the East Coast. I've been west and center United States too many times now. I need to go east.
Hell yeah. I mean, if you got some time, I do have a couple questions I'd like to ask.
Go ahead. Nobody else is in the backstage.
All right. I don't know if I know this is a touchy subject right now, but what do you think about well, it's going to be about Charlie Kirk. So before I ask, I want to see if that's cool with you.
Well, that's fine. He's on the menu right now. Everybody's talking about him.
So I've been seeing a lot of things online about him not being offed with a normal munition, some sort of arrow or dart or something, and that the actual shot came from a different angle compared to like the mainstream narrative. What are your thoughts on that?
There's no reason not to even talk about it. There's already big people out there in the field that are already addressing this, showing video clips and all that. So I'm not going to show the video clips or anything, but I'm just going to admit that yes, there seems to be 2 or 3 major narratives, and that's exactly what they always do. Anytime a major event goes down, they're going to have people in position to promote any post-op narrative they need to adopt. I guarantee you, when this went down with Charlie Kirk, there were probably many, many people out there in the crowd who were all participants. And this wasn't something that just happened. I'm telling you, this goes deep. This goes deep. But yes, I've seen those videos. I don't want to name these big people that are putting them out, but you can go on Twitter, you can go on X, and you can see the videos you're talking about that shows multiple different vantage points. And you can also the fact that there's a lot of people out there now talking about that was not a sniper rifle that took him out.
Yeah,
I don't want to go. I know what you're talking about. The dude that was off behind him and to the right a little bit. Yeah, it's some crazy shit, but it's either way, you know, it doesn't matter if you believe Charlie Kirk is dead or if he's alive and it was all an op. It doesn't matter if you believe that it was this kid on a roof that they're blaming right now. It doesn't matter if it was some sniper who's already in another country right now and the kid's just a patsy. It doesn't. None of these things matter. The only thing that truly matters is the effect, and you see what the effect is. Look what's happening all over America right now.
Yeah, I see it clear as day. It's
crazy,
interesting, scary. Yeah,
so crazy, man.
All right, yeah. I got another question. Since I'm in El Salvador, you know, what do you? I would say, what do you? Are any tidbits you know about El Salvador or Central America in general?
Man, you know what? I can do something better than that.
All right.
Real quick. I'm gonna put the ball in your court. So you can, on your own sometime. You got a pen and paper?
Oh, I can. Hold on, give me a sec.
This can be real simple.
All right, I'll just rewatch it on the replay.
All you got to do is just remember the number. Just remember the year 1971.
Got it.
Okay, I'm gonna give you another one real quick.
Let's hear it.
The other year is 1921.
71-21, got it.
So just remember 1921 and remember 1971. And on your own, just use your phone or whatever and Google this day in history. And it's a special website that's going to tell you basically everything, every major event that happened all 365 days a year. It's this day in history. And you go through the events of 1971 and the events in the event. What was the other year I gave you? I gave you 2 years. 1921. Okay, 1921, and the other year I gave you was what?
71.
1921 and 1971 as applicable to El Salvador. You understand? Right. You just use a search engine on El Salvador. What major events happened in El Salvador in those 2 years? Because 2025 is a holographic reflection of those 2 years, and anybody can do this no matter where they are in the world. So, but yeah, you can't just look up major events. You have to do major events to whatever area of the world you're in, because those are going to come up on a search engine different than major events in Texas or major events in Canada, Quebec, or major events in France. So they're going to be highly specific to you. But those 2 years are holographic reflections of 2025. And if you want to know basically, you know, how the rest of this year is going to unfold, you can do that. You can also go back 1 year on each one of those to 1920 and to 1970 if you want a good, clear window of El Salvador in the year 2026.
All right, right on. Got some homework.
Got a little homework to do now, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you. One last one. So my name's Slavid on here. My real name's David.
All right.
What can you tell me about? I know you've addressed this a lot before, but you have like 1,000 episodes, 1,000, videos on YouTube. It's hard to go through them all. And I've watched pretty much all your videos. Every time, or go through my viewing history, they're all watched full, except for the last few ones, because I'm on vacation, I gotta be in the now, but I'll go back home and watch them all. What can you tell me about the origins of the name David. I know you've mentioned King Davidu.
Oh, you remember that, right? That's in the Rashamra or the Ugaritic Canaanite text. It's Davidu, the giant slayer. It's where they got David, who slew the Goliath the giant. But yeah, it antedates the biblical story by over 600 years. But David, I mean, it's not even a Semitic name. It's a foreign name. It's not Semitic as in Jewish or anything like that. It would have it actually would have been probably Amorite. You remember, I talk about the Amuru a lot.
Mm-hmm.
These ancient rulers that just went in and took over the Near East. They took over the Hittites. They became the ruling families. It's the reason why Egypt, when it needed a son or a daughter, it sent for them in the enemy empire of the Hittites, and that's because the ruling families were the same blood. Among them, the Amorites, the Babylonians. But that name, Davidu, would go back to Rashamra. It would go back to Ugarit. This is all pre-Israelite, pre-Jewish. It's a more ancient name. But other than that, I can't really tell you. I do know that there is a name dictionary online that you can look up that'll give you. I believe it's a name etymology dictionary that will break down the roots of your name and tell you its antiquity.
Right, I've heard of those, and I've looked into it, but I wanted to see your perspective. If you knew anything,
I just know that among names, it's one of the few names that is almost virtually unchanged in 4,000 years, because Davidu is the name in the Rashamric or the Ugaritic text, and that's almost 2000 BC, 1900 BC. So you're looking at a name that's virtually unchanged in 4,000 years, and which is rare. It's rare. Let me give you an example of how rare it is. We'll take the name Jennifer. Okay, Jennifer, you would think is a pretty it's a common name. It's a common name today. But do you know what Jennifer was 600 years ago?
I would imagine it's the same thing, just spelled different.
It's Guinevere. Like King Arthur's wife, Guinevere. It was actually King Arthur and Jennifer, but it was pronounced Guinevere. But this is where the modern name Jennifer comes from, Guinevere, which is a very famous noble name, Anglo-Saxon name from way back in the day. But I'm just giving you an example of Jennifer and Guinevere. Names change. David is like a 4,000-year-old name that's relatively unchanged in all that time.
Yeah, that's awesome. I did not know that.
Oh, I got that troll bot back. I had to snipe him. That's the third time.
I've been seeing that a few times during the show.
Man, I've never seen that before, because in the settings you can if you're subscribed to the channel, you can comment all you want, but if there's like a 15 or 20 second delay, you can't just comment back to back. So
yeah, it's got to be some kind of bot, some kind of AI thing, or
man.
Some app some hacker made up.
So hey man, is there a political instability in El Salvador right now? Is it building?
Ever since the Bukele president came in, it's been real quiet as far as crime, but no political instability. A lot of people comment saying that Bukele, the president, is sort of on a dictatorship sort of thing. He's I've heard that people can't really criticize him, and people get censored for bringing anything up, like anything negative about him up gets censored.
Yeah.
Which, I'm on the fence about. I'm neutral. I live in the States, but it is part of my heritage, so I do keep track of it.
Yeah. All right. I was just wondering, because I think somebody said in the comments that there was a civil war in El Salvador in 1970. Well, that would be 2026.
That's right. That's why my parents immigrated to the United States, because it was a literal hellhole. People were getting their heads chopped off.
Shoot, next year you might come back to the United States. It would be a fulfillment, a total cycle close right there. I'm just saying, I've seen some weird cycles unfold in my life, and some of my greatest discoveries are in retrospect. I think I'm on top of things, and I think that I've got all the predictions down, and then something happens in my life, and I'm like, man, how did I not see that? And when I go looking at it, it's like, wow, this major pattern unfolds in my life. The greatest discoveries are always in retrospect.
That hindsight.
Yeah, man. Hindsight's 2020, man.
All right.
Yeah,
Hell
man.
yeah. I appreciate you talking to me, man. It's a big fan.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. It's good. I like you got great energy, bro. You do.
Appreciate it.
So your homework shouldn't take you 10, 20 minutes to go through it. 1971 and 1921 for 2025. If you want to look further in deeper, I'm gonna give you one more year, although it might be hard to find stuff from El Salvador on that, but I'm going to give you the most epic one, which is 1902. So I'm going to tell you now.
1902, that's a big one.
No, that's the biggest epicentral year, but it produces 1779. So for 2025, you need to know what major events happened in El Salvador in the year 1779. You can add that to it if you really want to go deep. And then 1778 for 2026.
Right on. I'll definitely check that out.
All right, man.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna sign out for the night. I think you're gonna be my last guest. I think I'm done. I'm gonna go ahead and find those links.
That's awesome.
For all
it's crazy.
those,
Got you on live while I'm wearing my favorite t-shirt.
Oh yeah, man. That's crazy.
It says "fuck you, I quit."
Yeah. Good stuff.
All right, man. Hope you have a blessed night.
All right. Well, that's Slavid, the Giant Slayer.
Slavid.
Slavid, the Giant Slayer.
Slaying them giants.
Go find you a Goliath, bro.
Will do, man. Peace.
Yeah, I like his energy. He's got good energy. Yeah, I'm getting tired, guys. My coffee's already wearing out. I see we already had about 150 people drop off. It's getting late. Before our little troll bot comes back in, I'm gonna go ahead and play this outro again, guys, and I'll holler at you. I will see you at the next juncture. And those of you in my Cypher community, guys, we got a 4 or 5 hour live video. It's already on YouTube. I know many of you are in the Cypher community. We're doing nothing but NFL predictions tomorrow using the software. It's going to take us 4 or 5 hours to get through all 15 games. So, that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. I think we start in the evening. During the daytime, I'll be in Archaix Underground uploading a whole bunch of Nemesis X stuff. But until later, I will holler at you guys. You can build whatever world you want. You change your frequency, you will change your world. Reality will always build for you the world that is commensurate with how you see yourself.
Wow. I'm not the physical body, I'm the immortal within. Facts. So when my DNA skin suit dies, you can stick my corpse in a bin. Do it. You can just cremate me. I don't care if you're scorching my skin. Cause I'm infinite consciousness in a cosmic ocean, I snorkel and swim. Wow. Life is a game, I'm certain, I have no doubts, of course I will win. Yeah. Ask about me, checkmate. I don't watch porn, I'm a king. Checkmate. And I don't drink from the tap. Nah. You know that water's grim. Fluoride's a neurotoxin, your pineal glands absorbing it in. Yes. And if you think chemtrails are engine fumes, you're awfully dim. I'm not a yes man, I'm authentic, I don't force anything. I don't believe in fate or luck, it's not an unfortunate thing. Never. I'm not stressing, life is a blessing, no one is born into sin. The devil's been tempting me, but I'm not talking to him. I'll stick my sword in his limb and swing my fist full force in his chin. Been battling demons for ages now, I'm going to war with the jinn. So if they happen to kill me, I'll be going out with a glorious grin. The demons are knocking, they've been scheming and plotting. Those toxic chemicals up in the sky will leave you sneezing and coughing. The reason is shocking, I bet you'll be breathing a lot in. That poison inside the vaccine will leave your blood cells bleeding and clotting. I don't do religious scriptures, that's why I don't read the Kabbalion. This world is being controlled by a twisted, devilish, evil battalion. I'm a champion, I don't need a medallion, I just need to be valiant. I'm bareback in reality, so I don't need no weed or Valium. I'm completely sober, I don't do shrooms and I don't swallow beer. I'm not your average human being, I'm positive, I don't follow fear. I love the world we live in, but all I'm seeing is pain and sorrow here. Welcome to the pits of hell, it's a digital quantum hollow sphere. I don't trust nobody, people's hearts are so cold and shallow. but I'm on a path to greatness. I don't care if the roads are narrow. I'm always ready for battle. I've been stockpiling loads of ammo. The thoughts I'm thinking they're twisted, gruesome, horrible, gross and paro. I've been stuck in a spiral dimension, at war with these floating shadows. I've been fighting devils and demons, using these poisonous bows and arrows. If I die and I leave this place, I'll fly in the sky with the crows and sparrows. I don't mind if you bury my body right next to my potatoes and marrows. The demons are knocking, they've been scheming and plotting. Those toxic chemicals up in the sky will leave you sneezing and coughing. The reason is shocking, I bet you'll be breathing a lot in. That poison inside the vaccine will leave your blood cells bleeding and clotting. The demons are knocking, they've been scheming and plotting. These toxic chemicals up in the sky will leave you sneezing and coughing. The reason is shocking, I bet you'll be breathing a lot in. That poison inside the vaccine will leave your blood cells bleeding and clotting. The demons are knocking, they've been scheming and plotting. These toxic chemicals up in the sky will leave you sneezing and coughing. The reason is shocking, I bet you'll be breathing a lot in. That poison inside the vaccine will leave your blood cells bleeding and clotting.
The self-aware immortal is a non-local awareness, limitless, timeless, with the creative tools of imagination and intuition. Intuition and imagination used together can create anything. You can build whatever world you want. You change your frequency, you will change your world. Reality will always build for you the world that is commensurate with how you see yourself.